Good morning children, I welcome you to the social science class. Today we are going to see about the world after World War II in history unit 4. So in this chapter you will come to know about the three causes for the Chinese Revolution, the Mao's Long March, and about the Marshall Plan, and about the role of Tang in making China a communist country, how China became a communist country, and the history of transformation of Council of Europe into an European Union. So how the Council of Europe has changed into European Union. So this chapter mainly deals with the world after World War. Okay, so the World War has also changed the world a lot, right? So how the world has been affected, the whole countries have been affected, will be seen in this chapter. So let me go to the introduction part first. In the aftermath of Second World War, a new era began. It was the beginning of decline of European colonial empires and the independence of colonies in Asia and Africa. So after the Second World War, a new period has been started. So it is the starting of the decline of European empires. So European were considered to be the very important, very big empire in those period. So it started to decline, it started to destroy slowly, and the independence of colonies in Asia and Africa. So these are the beginning at that stage. First we'll see about the Chinese Revolution. China in the pre-war period. So what is the position of China in the pre-war period? In its long history, Chinese civilization was more advanced than that of Europe. So Chinese civilization, even now also it ranks first in the world, right? Even in population, and also in many advanced electronic items, other goods also. So most of the time we also prefer Chinese product, right? Made in China. Many products we use are imported from China. So China, the civilization was more advanced than that of Europe. But by the end of the 18th century, the 19th century, its progress had been halted. So but it started to stop somewhere by the end of 19th century. The Manchus, the ruling dynasty, has governed China since about 1650. So since 1650, the ruling dynasty was Manchus. Okay, this is a type of particular variety. The entire administration system was in the hands of authority of scholar officials. So it was in the hands of the officials. Okay, the entire system, entire government was in their hands. It is Manchus only. The mass of peasant population was poverty stricken and suffered from high rents, high taxes, and shortage of lands. There were very little industry, though some railways and engineering works had been built. But in those periods, people were suffering a lot. Mass of peasant population, farmers were a very large number, but they were suffered in poverty, and also they had no enough land to cultivate. Shortage of land was there. There was also little industry. So industry, if there is little industry, means no employment will be very less, right? No people have enough, people doesn't have enough work. Okay, some railways and engineering also being built at that time, but the industries are very little in number. Discontent with the political and economic system resulted in number of peasants uprisings. So people are not satisfied with all these things. They were suffering in poverty, so they started to revolt. They started to question against them. So this is the first cause for the Chinese Revolution. Next we'll see about the Chinese Revolution in 1911. The disintegration of the Manchu dynasty began with the death of the Dowager Empress in 1908. So this Chinese Revolution started to disintegrate, which means started to lose its power with the death of the emperor. Okay, Dowager. Okay, so his death only started to decline. Manchu dynasty has been started to decline. The new emperor was 2 years old, and the provincial governors began to assert their independence. But the next emperor, he is not that much aged, because he was only 2 years old, a 2 years baby. So he couldn't govern the country, right? He couldn't rule the country. So this has been become a very big advantage for the other people. Okay, they started to become independent. In October 1911, the local army mutinied and the revolt spread. So now the revolt has been started. Provincial governors removed the Manchu garrisons and proclaimed their independence. So now Manchu doesn't have any enough support for them. So others and all know they proclaimed their independence. Now we'll see about the Yuan Shikai, and after the names and all a little bit difficult for you to remember and memorize, but just learn it. So this is the third reason. The unity of China under Yuan Shikai lasted for 4 years. On his death in 1916, a new president was appointed for the next 12 years, but the government was central only in name. So after this Yuan Shikai, he is also considered to be one of the ruler. So after his death, the government was appointing a new president is appointed, but only for namesake it is considered as a central government. Next we'll see about the Long March in 1934. The Long March is to pursuit of evade the Chinese Nationalist Party. So the Long March motive is to avoid the Chinese Nationalist Party. They started a very big march first, we will all do in our school, right? So march fast, a very long march has been started in the year 1934. By 1933, Mao has gained full control of the Chinese Communist Party. In 1934, the Communist army of about 1 lakh set out the Long March. So about 1 lakh people has set out a very long march. This march has been very big, legendary. Okay, so far it has never happened in the history also. Of the 1 lakh who set out, only 20,000 finally reached the northern Shanghai late in 1935 after crossing nearly 6,000 miles. So in 1 lakh people has started the march, but finally 20,000 people has reached the goal. The Shanghai late, okay, 1935. It was nearly 6,000 miles. They were soon joined by other communist army. By 1937, Mao has become the leader of over 10 million people. So now Mao has become the leader about 10 million people. Okay, through this march past he has become leader. The establishment of People's Republic of China under the leadership of Mao Zedong was a world-shaking event. So this People's Republic of China, which was under the leadership of Mao Zedong, okay, so establishment of this republic was a very shaking event that happened in history. There were now two parties, okay, two communist power in the world. So worldwide we have two communist powers. One is Soviet Union and other is People's Republic of China. So China and Soviet Union. So these are the very big communist powers in the world. And denial of UNO membership. The United States refused to recognize the People's Republic of China for more than 2 decades. So the US, okay, it started refusing the People's Republic of China for more than 2 decades, for 20 years. Okay, 1 decade is equal to 10 years. So the denial. So all these are the reasons for the cause of this Chinese Revolution. Next we'll see about the Marshall Plan. The United States was much concerned that poverty, unemployment and dislocation caused by the post-World War II period was increasing the appeal of communist parties in Western Europe. So the US, it was most concerned with about the problems, poverty, unemployment. So many things, many problems were occurring. So all these was because of the communist parties in Western Europe. The Secretary of the State, George C. Marshall, so he has advanced the idea of European self-help program to be financed by the United States. So all these problems could be solved by the self-help program. So 16 nations became part of this program, and Marshall Plan's funding ended in 1951. So the plan which helps the countries of Europe for their early recovery from the destruction caused by the Second World War. So this plan, the Marshall Plan is to get recovery from the destruction which is caused by the Second World War. Next we are going to see about the history of transformation of Council of Europe into an European Union. So how the Council of Europe is transformed, has been changed to the European Council. So we'll see Council of Europe. One of the momentous decisions taken in the post-war second era was to integrate the states of Western Europe. In doing so, the Europeans wanted to prevent further European wars. So after this post-war, after this war, they have the motive to integrate the states of Western Europe, to integrate to join all the states of Western Europe. So if they do all these things, these are the following things will be done. The first one is to prevent further European wars. Okay, so if they do this, means this decision, if they take this decision, means the further European wars will be prevented, and to create a united Europe to resist any threat from Soviet Russia. So if they do this, means they can create a united Europe to safeguard themselves from anything they got from the Soviet Russia. Okay, whatever threat they get from Russia will be resisted. Third one is to form a third force in the world to counterbalance the strength of US and USSR. So they'll form a very big force in the world counterbalance. Okay, to make full use of the economic and military sources of Europe. So if they do this, they can make use of all the economic and military resource of Europeans. So this, for all these reasons, the Council of Europe has been formed. Next, European Coal and Steel Committee. So they have started Coal and Steel Committee, Industrial Development. The European Defence Committee, which means EDC, the European Defence Community, and the European Coal and Steel Community, ECSC, European Coal and Steel Community, was established. So the two things were established. One is European Defence Community, and another one is European Coal and Steel Community. 6 countries: France, West Germany, Italy, Belgium, Holland and Luxembourg, belonging to ECSC, signed the Treaty of Rome, which established the European Economic Community or the European Common Community with headquarters at Brussels. So 6 countries have joined in this. They have signed a treaty. So what are the 6 countries? France, West Germany, Italy, Belgium, Holland and Luxembourg. So these are the countries which have joined here. Okay, so establish the European Economic Community, or else it is called as European Common Market. Okay, next we'll see about European Economic Community, EEC. The EEC eliminated barriers to the movement of goods, services, capital and labor. So this community, it has eliminated, it has destroyed all the barriers. Many bans were there, to the movement of goods, services, labor. So it has eliminated, it has removed all the barriers. It also prohibited public policies or private agreements that restricted market competition. So this also stopped the public policies or private agreements that stopped market competition. A common agricultural policy and a common external trade policy was evolved. So by this community, agriculture policy has been started, and also trade policy, common external trade policy has been started. So European Common Market was a remarkable success. So market wise, economic wise, they had come to one very big position. So it is considered as a remarkable success. We'll see about Single European Act, which means CSEA. The Single European Act came into force on July 1, 1987. So according to this act, each member was given multiple oaths depending on the country's population. So if they stand in an election, each member has given multiple oaths, okay, depending upon the population. European Union. The Maastricht, Netherlands, okay, treaty signed on February 7, 1992 created the European Union. So this treaty, Netherlands Treaty, it was signed in the year 1992, February 7. So this created the European Union. Today the European Union has 28 member states and functions from its headquarters at Brussels, Belgium. So now today, at present day, it has 28 member states. Okay, it has started in the year 1992, but now it has 28 member states, and its main headquarters is at Belgium, Brussels. Okay, so this is about the European Union. So in this chapter you will come to know about causes for the Chinese Revolution, about Marshall Plan, Mao's Long March, and transformation of Council Europe into an European Union. Thank you, children.